downloaded all of Ken's videos, man, and I still can't get this profile right, man. What am I missing, man? I don't want you.
You mean like the track profile?
Yeah. Yeah, it just looks like it's
like
a toy, but your stuff looks real. What am I missing?
I think that's been in our videos. Let's do something. Let's just make a quick track profile on this piece of foam, or let's go get another piece, and let's just real quick carve it out as if it's a final finished scene. The first thing you want to think about, really, and what I think about when I'm building a scene like this, Ed, is you've got to imagine where the water's going to go, and you want the track to be the highest point within an area of about 9 to 12 feet on either side. And these track specific designs are in the Railroad Prototype Standard books. But just imagine yourself for a minute if it's raining, and where's the water going to go? A lot of times when I pour resin creeks, I'll fill the creek with water so I can anticipate the flow of the resin before I pour it. It really helps a lot in doing rivers. But just imagine where the water's going to go, and then carve our scenery down from there.
So you don't require cork to achieve this?
No cork. It's all about the tools, and it's specifically about the type of tools you use. This rasp is one of the most valuable tools on either side of the track for doing track profile. So let's grab a sheet of foam and let's just carve up something real quick and see if we can make some track look good. Let's do it.
All right.
The first thing I like to do, Ed, is once you decide where your track's going to go, I like to draw a line on either side of the track with a marker, so it'll allow me to know where not to carve, so the track's got a flat base. So I've got this bent rasp, Ed, and it works great for carving out the track profiles on both sides of the track. And that's what we're going to do right now. It goes really quick. And you're just imagining now where the water's going to go. So effectively, I've got the profile cut. This is from the Woodsmith store. Is that the name of the place? Woodcraft?
Yes.
Woodcraft store. That's where I found the bent rasp. I've never seen these anywhere else. You might be able to find them online. But now what we want to do, you want to carve a creek in here?
Sure. Yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll take out the surrounding scenery. Now mind you, if you were doing mountainous terrain, you would still have the water runoff immediately on either side of the track, and then your scenery would go up from there. But we're probably going to carve this down as a flat field on either side.
Okay.
Run a drainage ditch through here real quick. So let's pull out the hot foam cutter and start cutting out our drainage ditch. So let's put in a creek that will run through right here.
Okay.
And we'll cut out the, I got a hot foam cutter here, and we'll use that real quick to cut out.
Look at that.
And we'll just cut out a quick little area here where there'd be a culvert. You can put in a concrete culvert or wooden railroad tie culvert here. See, all this machine does is it speeds up the cut time, and it squares the edges.
But now you can take a long saw and cut out the main part of your creek.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do now. And let's cut away the outside edges.
Pretty cool, man.
Creek. We'll put a brass tube in there, pipe.
Yeah, you do that. I get my hand in it.
Blood.
Yeah.
We don't want blood on film. And I'll tell you, this tool will get you. This thing's sharp. This is a pruning saw blade. It is the best, most rapid, clean cutting tool for foam.
Now, if you were going to put a small trestle or something, you could just cut that out.
Sure.
Or a small bridge, but we're going to do a culvert. So.
We could do either way right now. We could
Yeah.
drop in a quick bridge, throw in some Walther's trestle bends, or drop in a piece of pipe or some sody straws.
Yeah, a pipe is a little more unusual, I think.
Next step is to seal everything in latex paint so that visually you can see the topography, because the pink makes it really hard to see, I
Yeah.
think.
Paint it a nice latex brown, like a dirt color brown.
Let's paint it. Right before we paint it, we're going to smooth it down with this Sureform planer because it'll help us save paint, because we really don't need a lot of topography here once it's covered up with fake fur. Fill it in with ballast. Oh, we're doing a diorama, man. In less than 15 minutes.
Take that for you. So like Ken said, cover the whole area.
Now that gives you a good idea of how your scene is going to look.
Yes, and it starts to look like the correct topography
Right.
instead of a blob of pink foam.
So we've got our track. I usually glue track down with liquid nail, but right now we're going to let the paint, since it's wet, glue down the track and glue down the dirt. And actually, we're going to use some static grass too. Because it's wet, it'll all stick. So we're going to let the dirt, or the paint itself, be the glue tonight.
Awesome.
Because that way we can do this demonstration in less than 15 minutes.
Do you ever paint your track first before you glue it down?
You can do that. I've done that on the Garden Railroad. I did that on the Midwest Valley Modelers layout. But what I also like to do is come back with a paintbrush and paint white ties, dark ties, and just get a little variation in the color of ties. It's very noticeable when the scene's finished. But for what we're doing tonight, essence of time.
Right.
Let's just cover up the scene with a little bit of dirt. We'll put some static grass on this. This dirt will get glued into place with the paint. And in fact, we'll dump the excess right off. Now you're just going to have to imagine that the track is glued down with liquid nail for this demonstration. It's not going to be because of the essence of time.
Wow, looks good.
Now this will still be moist enough to get the static grass to stick?
Now we're going to spray a little water on top
I
of the dirt.
see. Okay.
Maybe, how we just put down Woodland Scenics ground foam. That would be easy.
Yeah.
Now,
I'd like to see
now
this.
normally we would just spray this with Woodland Scenic cement and let the dirt sit up the way it is. But tonight we're going to let the paint glue it, so let's dump off the excess. And our scene is scenic now, and it's all stuck to the paint. Next is ballast. The key to ballast isn't so much fine ballast is important, but the key to ballast is the type of brush that you use to spread the ballast. The best brush is a round brush like this, because it allows just the tip of the brush to touch the ballast, which gives you a lot more control over spreading it smooth between the ties. Just let the ballast fall where the gravity takes it, because we've carved the topography with that in mind.
Seems like a lot of ballast.
It is. It really is. So we'll spread this with a paintbrush and spread the extra right off the edge.
Okay, so come this way.
Get this out of the way. The ballast away from the rails, because if it's sticking on the sides of the rails, it looks really unprototypical, I guess.
Gotcha. And everybody.
I like to have the tops of all the ties showing.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, Ed, I got the Woodland Scenic cement. You guys got everything down just right. Let's wet it and glue it in place. And we're going to use a lot of glue on this ballast. It's pretty thick. We're also going to wet the dirt so the static grass will stick in this glue and stand straight up. And we'll have a scene built in less than 15 minutes. If you wanted to use fake fur, this would be the time to glue down your fake fur, color it, and put it in place.
Okay.
We're using static grass today. I've got some green in the gun here. The gun is on. All you simply want to do is put the alligator clip on the surface. That'll create your current, so the grass will stand straight up once we apply it. And the grass will start coming out here and stand straight up. See how the grass is standing up?
Forward in.
Now you could add, we'll add woodland scenic seating, ground foam and various things to this. The last thing we want to do is drop in some rocks here.
Put a culvert underneath.
For the creek?
Yeah, we need to ram a pipe or something underneath.
And we'll just spread out some rocks, different sizes, and work the vegetation in on both sides of the gravel, about where the creek would be. That's where you pour your resin base, if you were pouring a resin plumbing area. And we'll put some boulders in here on the sides, a little rip-rap, just kind of mix it up a little bit. We'll put some little scenic smoke on that, and let that set up hard. And other than putting plywood sides on your diorama and trees and other things, I'd say you've got yourself a real quick profile, which is kind of what you were inquiring about. How do we carve down the profile real quick with? You know, what tools did we use to do it?
Looks a lot better than just a flat piece of 4x8 plywood.
Absolutely.
So, good question. Yeah, it was just natural that you asked the question, and hopefully maybe we've got a good video out of this.
Cool.
But thank you for asking. And in the event this did turn out to be a video, that's this segment on scenery on What's Neat.